Good morning. Good morning. It's day 4. Got a little color block action going on. Lunch kit, tote bag. We're ready to go. I did my homework this morning. Yes. Y'all, I don't know what to do with myself. I am so tired. It's 4:37. Complained enough about the shuttle ride, but we got released early today, which was nice. We were supposed to get released at 4:15. We probably got back right about the time we were supposed to be released. But I have to find a way to fight a nap, fight sleep right now. I just probably really need to get into my flight attendant manual and just start reading, because we have a 3:45 a.m. van time in the morning. That's just so early. Oh my God. It's just so early. Which means that we have a 3:45 van time, right? 3:45. I gotta be up at least by 2:30 or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll go downstairs, because if I sit in this room, me and this big we're gonna be BFFs, and I'm gonna go to sleep. So I guess I can probably go to sleep. I feel like I could go to sleep around 6. If I go to sleep at 6. 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2. I can be sleeping around 6, 7 o'clock, and that'll give me my 7, 8 hours. But let's talk about what we actually did today. So first thing today, they did a gate check, basically, making sure that we came to class with all of our required items. So they consider, as soon as we walked through the doors of the training facility, it's like being in the airport. And then when we walk into the class, they consider that as being on the aircraft. So they did a random check this morning to make sure that we had all of our required items. I thought I lost my badge, but I left it right here. My other one is in my backpack. So that would have been like me leaving my ID at home, but they weren't really tripping. And then basically we got into the 700 sim, and we just been going over pre-flighting today and security checks. So they showed us how to do security checks, what forms to sign, and we went over some more pre-flighting things. Kind of had a bit of downtime today because we were like taking turns getting on the aircraft sim and looking at things. So that left, people on the plane and then us outside. Of course, we were probably supposed to be studying, but we're just chattering. So today wasn't too bad, but it's just a long day. Class started at 5:45 and we left basically. We got released like at 3:35, 3:40, how many ever hours that is. We did have a proficiency today. We had to show them how to perform a security check, which is very simple. I can't tell y'all, but we learned that today and we performed it today because it is the most basic of basic things. Everybody passed that, but it did seem like 2 people from my class disappeared today. So it seems like 2 people were either released from training or they released themselves. I don't really know, and that is what that is. So that's that, y'all. Yeah, I think I need to go downstairs and just sit around and talk to some people, because if I stay here, I'm going to bed. Good morning, y'all. I don't think I spoke to y'all this morning, but it is 5:54. I'm here in the building. We finished our pre-flight proficiency this morning, and now we literally have an hour and a half break until our next class session starts. So yeah, I really wish they would just move things up so we can get out earlier, but that's not happening. So tinkle time, and I'm gonna go watch Grey's Anatomy. Hey y'all, happy Halloween. Wore my little bunny ears and my little bow tie. I had cuffs on, but they were doing the most, and slipping. Get a little bunny tail. Happy Halloween. I should take this stuff off now. Oh, I'm just now realizing that last week Friday, I didn't give y'all an update. So let's act like this is Friday, the completion of week 1. I genuinely don't know what we did, but I can tell you that week 1 of training, we lost 3 people. 1 due to tardiness, missed the shuttle from the hotel to campus. She was sent home for that. Another one, I don't know if anybody ever found out. I'm gonna see if I really don't care. But another one, she was gone that same day. Nobody knows if she overslept as well or missed the shuttle. Nobody knows. And then another lady, which, oh, she was so sweet. This is gonna be y'all yawning. Another lady, she unfortunately she failed her retake of the announcements. Let me grab my little iPad to see if I can jog my memory on what we did last week Friday. Okay, so last week Friday, we had a proficiency over the emergency equipment. So 4:30, trying to see if I have time for a quick workout. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 4:30 it is. All right. I told one of my classmates that I would take them to run some errands because I'm just trying to stay awake, y'all. Like, we have another 3:45 departure time tomorrow. Yeah, so we did efficiency. I think I told y'all that. We had our equipment efficiency, which was us. We pulled, they had a hard, a medium, and an easy. We pulled from each stack and picked one piece of equipment from each stack, and then we had to tell them how to, what would be the check in the pre-flight for that equipment. Check past that. And then we started on learning how to do boarding last week. Just, you know, what it looks like to go through the boarding process. Yeah, I ain't gonna go into too much detail, but yeah, we started learning the customer boarding process last week Friday, and we pretty much completed that because today we didn't really talk too much about the actual boarding process. We've moved on to the next thing. So then today, another early morning of 3:45 a.m. departure from the hotel to class. Nobody had any retakes on that equipment proficiency, which was really awesome. So this morning we started off with, y'all, I swear, because we do so much in one day, I couldn't tell you what we were doing at 4:30 this morning. And we had a gate check, that I do know, which means they're just checking to make sure that we had all our required items with us. I think I told y'all we did that last week too. I had everything this time. Last time I had misplaced my name badge and they just had to print me out another one, but that would have been the equivalent of me losing my identification to get into the airport, and that wouldn't have been such a simple fix if it was a real ID. But anyways, so we did one of those again this morning. And then we started talking about preparation for pushback. So basically, the next phase of flight after you board the aircraft, everybody is on. Oh, doors. That's what we learned this morning. How to open and close the aircraft doors. Sounds super simple, but everything is a process, and it's not really simple. This door, from my experience, I've flown on Airbuses and Embraer aircrafts, and here we only fly Boeings. So just learning aircraft familiarization on these aircrafts are new to me, just like everybody else in training, or most of the people in training. So we learned how to open doors, open and close the door on the aircraft. Then as soon as they taught it, so they teach it to us, they show us, the instructors themselves show us. Then they give us one or two chances to practice opening and then closing it. And then literally right after that, we do a proficiency on it, a test to open and close it. And that's a test. And if somebody did not get it right on the proficiency, they would have to retake it. But I'm pretty sure everybody got it correct. So like, that's literally how fast things move. Which that one isn't as hard as some other things that you truly do have to like memorize and get in your brain. So we did that, and then once we learned how to open and close the doors and the communication that happens and where your positioning would be on the aircraft, or those phases of flight, blah 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 blah, we went into cruise. So then we went into service, and which is actually what people think flight attendants do, serve cookies and Cokes and peanuts and Sprites and alcohol or whatever. So we went over a little bit of that today. We have not completed the cruise portion of the flight, but that's where we ended things today. And then tomorrow we will pick up that and then continue on. So that's what flight attendant training just really looks like, y'all. They literally go in, for the most part, the order of what your day would look like as a flight attendant, from checking in to step 1 to step 2 to checking out for the day. It's just long days, lots of information, and we do have our first test this week. We have 2 total tests while here in training, 100 questions each, multiple choice from a bank of 300 questions. Our first test is this Thursday. We get 45 minutes to complete it. So sometimes in some of these sessions or classes that we have when we're learning things, if we end early, our very nice instructors will just go over some things with us that might be on the test, common test questions that we might need to know. And then sometimes they take their instructor hat off and put on their flight attendant hat and just talk to us as just regular crew members and not instructor to student, which is also really nice, just so you can really know what it's like to be out there on the line. But that's all the verbiage that I have for y'all. Like I was just saying, I'm being a nice person, which I'm always a nice person, and taking some of my fellow trainees. One needs to go to Walmart, one needs to go do some laundry, and yeah, that's it. I'm back from Walmart, and I misspoke. Well, I lied, or I was misinformed. We did lose somebody today, y'all. So now we are down 4 people. Remember I was telling y'all we did the door proficiency, opening and closing the door, and somebody went home from that today. Their decision. They did not pass the proficiency, and you get a retake. Minimal retakes, but she would have had a retake. And she chose not to do the retake. She said this is word of mouth, of course. She said she just did not feel confident in it. She didn't feel like she was grasping the information that we've been learning. So she just decided not to even bother. Sorry, y'all. She decided not to even bother doing a retake. She packed her stuff up and went home. She was a previous flight attendant years ago. And I guess she said, you know, maybe this isn't for her anymore. A more seasoned lady, I would probably say 50-ish, maybe. So that was sad to hear. But hey, if you can't get it, you can't get it. And there's nothing safety related that I don't want my fellow crew members being able to do properly. So if you don't feel like you can get it, then make the best decision and leave the rest of us safe. All right, y'all. It is 6:21. I'm gonna read a little bit of my flight attendant manual. You know, I've been saying we have a test on Thursday, so I can know my stuff, so I can stay here. Wee.